What's up everybody? It's Travis here from Travis.media. So I've been telling you all for a while now to get into the cloud. If you're a developer, especially a new developer trying to break into the industry, you need to be cloud competent. You need to create an AWS account, get in there, get your feet wet, maybe go on to get certified, but you need to be cloud competent. Every company is in the cloud in some sorts, or making their way to the cloud, and it's expected of you to have some knowledge of it. And I've had videos on this, how to get certified. I have a blueprint where you can learn Python and AWS at the same time, but I have one main question that comes up, and it's around cost. Like, how do I sign up for AWS, play around with all of the resources, and not spend a fortune doing so? And it's a little bit intimidating at first compared to something like DigitalOcean or Linode or some other service that makes it really easy. Like, you get an AWS and it's just super complicated. So what I decided to do was to create a video where I'm going to actually sign up, create a new account. I'm going to explain to you how to keep everything completely free. I'm going to show you how to secure your account by ditching the root user and creating your own user. I'm going to help you set up the CLI and show you how to run terminal commands. And I'm even going to walk you through spinning up an EC2 instance, creating a security key for it, and all of that stuff. So if you don't have an AWS account, you've been a little hesitant for signing up, now's your chance. I'm going to walk you through it. I'm going to keep it completely free, and you're going to walk away from this video with the right tools to start learning cloud computing. Now, later this week, I'm going to release a couple videos where we're doing some fun Python automation in AWS to help you level up your Python skills. So if that interests you, go ahead now and create that AWS account with me. Let's get started. All right, let's start out by going to aws.amazon.com/free. Now, for new users, you get access to this free tier, which you can explore more than 100 products and start building on AWS using the free tier. And it tells you get 12 months free, this many hours of like Amazon EC2, you get 750 hours if you use the T2 micro or T3 micro, and you can look at all this. But basically you can start out on AWS for free for like a long time. And I'm going to show you later how to not overspend and how to keep your costs. Like for me, I think I spend like $1 a month on AWS. But anyway, go to aws.amazon.com/free and click on create a free account. So first you're going to enter a root user email address. This is going to be for your root user. So I've used like 2 of my emails in AWS so far. I'm going to add another one for this demonstration. So I'm just going to say travisraj@gmail.com. Go ahead and type in the email you want to associate with this account. And I'm going to put Travis Media also. For the AWS account name, again, put something for you and click verify email address. And you should be getting an email with the verification code. For me, that's 394518. And I'm going to hit verify and now set a password. So I'm going to set something simple for now. I'll change it later. Something that abides by these conditions here. You can't see it because of 1Password, but anyway, all 4 of these checked off. That's good. I'm going to enter the password again. And continue. And here's my contact information. So I'm going to use it as a personal thing. My full name is this, phone number, and my address. I'm going to put in all this information. You put in your information, and we'll continue to the next step. The next step, you have to enter in some billing information. They're not going to charge you anything. So it says here, we will not charge you for usage below AWS free tier limits, which you want to stay in the free tier at first. We may temporarily hold up to $1 as a pending transaction to verify your identity, so make sure you have $1 in there. But here, put in some kind of credit card. It's not going to get charged other than maybe $1. And so I'm going to do this, and we'll go to the next page as well. The next step is to confirm your identity. I'm going to do it via a text message. So I'm going to put in my mobile phone number. And security check, which I can never read this. Let me refresh. N3DBPH. And send the SMS. And then I need to verify my mobile number. So I should be getting a text here. And that's continue step 4 of 5. And select a support plan. Of course, I want to choose free. I don't need developer or business support. So choose free there and complete your sign up. That's it. So thank you for signing up. Go to the AWS Management Console. Let's go there. Because we're now in the root account, which we want to get rid of. We don't want to be using root accounts. And then you get to the sign-in screen. So we don't know our account ID yet. So just click sign in using root user email. and punch in what you just signed up with. So travisraj@gmail.com and click next. And the password. All right, so you're in the AWS console. So the first thing you want to do is get rid of this root account. So up here in the top, just type in IAM for Identity and Access Management. Click on that. And you'll see here some security recommendations. So the first one is add MFA for your root user. So you do want this for extra protection for your root user. So click on add MFA and click on assign MFA. And I'm just going to say root MFA. And I'm going to choose an authenticator app. So click next. And I'm going to use Authy, which is on my computer, Authy desktop. You can use Google Authenticator or Microsoft Authenticator, whatever's best for you. But I'm going to click plus to add a new one and enter code given by the website. Let's get a secret key. Copy that and paste it here and click add account. And let's put Travis Raj AWS root. And I'm going to scroll down and find AWS Amazon Web Services. Click on that and click save. And now I have a token. So I can copy this and paste it in my MFA code 1. And then once this changes, I'll paste in code 2. And if you do this on Google Authenticator, you'll just need to click show QR code and scan it with your phone. So let me copy the second one, paste it here, and add MFA. And again, this just adds a extra layer of protection on your account. So that's great. Let's go back to the dashboard. And you still see this as red. Just click on refresh and see if that satisfied that requirement. Yeah. So root user has MFA and root user has no active access keys. So we don't want to use this root account unless we're doing some billing stuff. I think unless you maybe can delegate that to another user, but otherwise you don't want to use the root account. What we want to do is go to users and create a user that we're going to use, like an administrative user, not the root user, but an administrative user. So click add users. I'm going to put Travis Media, put whatever user you want. Provide user access to the AWS Management Console. You want to do that. And I'm going to create an IAM user. Custom password, I'm going to punch in something that I know. And users must create a new password at next sign in. If you were creating this account for someone, then you would check this box, and then when they sign in, they can create their own password at that point. But since this is for me, I'm going to uncheck that and click next. Set permissions, I can add a user to a group, but it's just me. So I'm actually going to go to attach policies directly and administrator access. This is going to give me administrator access to everything. And since you are the administrator, this is okay. If you're creating for someone else, of course, you want to get more granular. Click next and create user. All right, now do you see this console sign-in URL? This is going to include that account ID that we didn't know earlier. Remember, we chose the root user. Now we can use this sign-in URL that actually has that account ID in it. So copy this and create a bookmark if you're using whatever browser you're using. I'm going to go to Bookmark Manager and choose AWS. And up here, I'm going to do add new bookmark and put Travis Raj AWS user and the URL and save it. And that's going to be my URL to sign into this AWS account with that user. So now I can return to users list, and that's okay. Continue. And I have one user that's an administrator. Now, one of the biggest issues with AWS is that we create resources and then we forget that they're there. I've done it. Everybody in AWS has done it. You create 5 EC2 instances and you go off and you forget. And then 2 weeks later, you have like a $10, $15 bill. You don't want that to happen. So what you want to do now with the root account is to create a billing alarm, an alarm that goes off when you've reached a certain threshold if that happens. So if it runs up to $5, it's going to alarm you and say, hey, you're at $5. And you're going to know, oops, I left something running. So if you just go to AWS billing alarm, we're just going to follow the instructions. So enabling billing alerts, let's do that first. So open the AWS billing console, just click this link. It's going to take you to the billing part of AWS. After that, in the navigation pane, choose billing preferences and choose receive billing alerts. So down here, billing preferences. So this just allows us to receive billing alerts. So I'm just going to click here, alert preferences, go to edit, and I want CloudWatch billing alerts and receive AWS free tier alerts. Why not? Let's click that too. And that's going to be delivered to the root email address. So let's update it. And so we've enabled billing alerts. Now let's go and create one. And to create one, we got to go to CloudWatch. So click on this link. Next, click on Create Alarms here to create a new alarm. Let's click on Create Alarm, choose Select Metric, and then here you want to choose Billing. And I don't see billing. So let me see. All right, so here it says before you create a billing alarm, you must set your region to US East, Northern Virginia. Billing metric is stored in this region. So let's switch our region to US East 1, and we should see billing. Let's try this again, select metric, and there's billing. So choose billing, and then total estimated charge. Oh, here's the note. If you don't see billing, then change your region to US East, Northern Virginia. All right, select the box for estimated charges metric, then choose select metric. For statistic, choose maximum. Let's go and then choose the selection here. So USD estimated charges and select metric. Metric name is fine. Currency USD. Statistic maximum. Period 6 hours. Threshold type static. So whenever estimated charges is greater than $5. That's where I'm going to set mine at. So if you forget to cut something off and it gets up to $5, or it estimates that it's going to be at $5, it's going to send you an email saying, warning, your alarm went off and you're going to get a $5 bill. Then you'll know, hey, I need to go and check and make sure I closed everything down or shut everything down. In additional configuration, do the following. For data points to alarms, specify 1 out of 1. For missing data treatment, treat missing data as missing. So additional configuration, 1 out of 1, treat missing data as missing. So go to next. In under notification, click add notification. So define the alarm state that will trigger this action. When it's in alarm, when we've reached that $5 or it's estimated for the $5, we want to create a new topic. We don't have an SNS topic, so let's create a new one. SNS is just a simple notification service. You create a topic, and then that topic you can decide who to notify. So we're just going to create one default CloudWatch alarms topic. Let's put it as billing alarm topic. Email endpoints that will receive the notification. I'm just going to put my email that's associated with this. And create topic. So we don't have to worry about auto scaling or EC2 action or systems manager. Just click next. Alarm name, billing alarm. And the alarm description is optional. Feel free to put in some kind of text, but click next and just look everything over. Looks fine to me. And create alarm. So first things first, set an alarm so you don't go above a certain threshold or certain price. And I have a warning here. It says this action sends a message to an SNS topic with an endpoint that is pending confirmation. And I have an email. So check your email and confirm that you want to be subscribed to that topic. So confirm subscription. I'm going to click that. And subscription confirmed. So now I can refresh and I probably won't have a warning anymore. Great. So we've set an alarm. Now let's get out of this root account and try to log into our user account. So go up here and click on sign out. After this, I'll show you how to set up the CLI. So log back in. And you see how if you click IAM user, it's going to ask for your account ID, which we don't know, but we saved it in our bookmarks. So I'm going to click that link. And it's going to add in that account ID for me. And it says IAM username, which is Travis Media. And password. So again, make sure you click that link that was given to you when you created the user. That's going to populate your account ID. And then your username, password, and sign in. And this is going to be the user you want to use. Again, don't use the root user. So first things first, go up to your name and go to security credentials. And we're going to set up MFA. Because you should always be using some kind of multi-factor. Never should depend on your password. And actually, you should create a much more secure password that you don't even know and put it in something like 1Password. That's what I'll do when I finish this video. I just put in something temporarily for now. And it warns us at the top, you don't have MFA assigned. So let's assign that. Device name, I'm just going to put Travis Raj, MFA, user, and next. And again, I'm going to use Authy. So I'm going to click the plus and grab the secret key. Paste it, hit add account, find AWS, save it, and then I'm going to enter my MFA codes. Oh, I got to add an account name. AWS Travis Raj. So I'm going to copy this, paste it in MFA code 1. Copy the second one, paste it in code 2, and add MFA. So next time when I sign in, I'll put in my password, then it'll ask me my MFA. I'm going to go to Authy and copy and paste. Now, the next thing you want to do is set up your AWS CLI. Since we're developers, we need to be using the CLI. So if you just type in AWS CLI, which is the command line interface, click this, and then go to somewhere there will be a getting started. And then somewhere under here, there's an install/update page, and I'm on Mac. So I would just click this and run this installer. So in your browser, download the Mac OS package file. Click this, install it, and it's good to go. Now to link that AWS CLI with your AWS account, go back to the security credentials that you were at and go down to access keys. So we're going to create an access key. It's going to be to the command line interface. And they're giving me some alternatives here, like better to use Cloud Shell and things like that, which we can use too. But let me show you how to set this up. So click that box, click next. Description tag, I don't care to do that. Create access key. And I have two things here. I have an access key code and then a secret access key code. So to configure the AWS CLI, just open your terminal, make it bigger. And you should be able to do AWS to see that you installed it correctly. But I'm going to say AWS configure. This is how you configure it. And it'll ask you your access key. So copy this, paste it. It's going to ask you your secret access key. So click the copy here, paste it, and default region name, I'm going to do US East 1, works for me. And default output format, I do like JSON. And once that's done, I should be able to, because I'm an administrator, do something like AWS S3 LS. I don't have any S3 buckets, but it should list them if I had them. And if you go back to your CLI documentation here, you can go to like using the AWS CLI and click on something like Amazon EC2 instances, and it'll give you some examples like launching your instance or tagging your instance, connecting to your instance, listing your instances. So AWS EC2 describe instances. You could do that if you wanted to. Again, we don't have any instances. So you've set up your user. I can click done here. And it says you haven't viewed or downloaded your secret key. The thing about secret keys is you can always create a new one. So you have an access key, you can create a new one, and then you can deactivate this one if you forget it. It's not a big deal. I don't write it down. I wouldn't copy and paste it anywhere. I would just AWS configure and use it, and then for some reason it gets wiped out, just deactivate it or delete it, create a new one. If you're by yourself, if you're with a company, they obviously have their own protocols. But you've created your user, you've set up MFA, you've got your CLI running. Now, what do you want to do? Go to services, go to EC2. Let's create an instance. I'll show you how to do this free tier thing. And by the way, you should have gotten an email like right here. It says for the next 12 months, you'll have free access to core AWS compute, storage, database, and application services within the limits of free tier. You can click on this free tier link and look into what that entails. But as far as setting up an EC2 instance, just go to instances and launch instance. And I'm just going to say test server for my name. And I'm going to choose Amazon Linux because it's in the free tier. So right here, T2 Micro is free tier eligible. Always look for that free tier eligible writing. I always use it. It does everything I need to. I mean, don't try to run a Kubernetes cluster on it, but it does everything you'll need to. So choose T2 Micro. Key pair, you need a key pair to be able to SSH into that. So let's create a new one because we haven't yet. So say Travis key pair, test key pair. And RSA is fine, PIM is fine, create key pair. And I'm going to save it somewhere safe, which for me is my desktop because I'm going to delete it after this. And so I have a key pair. I'll show you how to use that in a minute. VPC, this is like the default. Subnet, no preference. We don't want to get into all that. You can check out my AWS networking video for information on those. Firewall, let's select an existing security group, which we just have the default. And let's actually create one. We're going to create one, and we're going to allow SSH traffic from anywhere so we can test our key out. And the rest of this doesn't matter. Storage, advanced details, just click launch instance. Don't be worried about price. It's free tier eligible. If it wasn't, it's like a penny per hour, I think. I think it's a penny per hour. So if you leave it running for like 3 hours, it's 3 cents. That's why sometimes when I'm testing things, I just spin up 5 for like an hour. It's like 5 cents. And end of the month, I have a bill for like $1 or $2, maybe $3, and it's no problem. So view all instances. Now I see my instance here, and it is pending. So if I click on this, I can go down to see what my key pair is. I forgot the name, Travis test key pair. So I should be able to go here and make sure I'm in my desktop. And then what's neat is if you click on this and go to connect, you can actually just click connect and connect to it from within Amazon. So I can click this and it's going to give me a terminal to use. But if you want to do it yourself, just go to SSH client and copy this. Well, the first thing you need to do is modify your privileges on your PIM key, right? You want to make it a 400, so chmod 400. You want to run this command. And my desktop is where I saved it. So run that to make the permissions really tight. Otherwise, it won't work. I don't think Amazon will even work with a PIM key that's not a 400. And then next, you can just copy this example direct. So click that, paste it, SSH-I, which specifies my PIM key, EC2 user, which is like the default user for EC2 instances, and the public DNS of the instance. So click that. Yes, that's fine. And I should be able to EC2 in. Sudo yum update. And I can do what I want. But again, you can just go to EC2 instance connect and connect directly. So click on services, look around. You got the console home, you got Lambda functions, VPCs, CloudTrail, S3 buckets, CloudWatch. And let's go back to our CLI. Now we can do, let's exit out of this. Now we can do that command, that AWS EC2 describe instances, and it should describe that one instance we have. So reservations, and then we have instances. We have an array of instances, but we only have one. So here's all the information about that instance. And the AWS CLI is pretty neat. You can put in parameters there to just get the data you need. So I don't think I have anything else to show you. You are in AWS now. You don't have any excuse. Play around. You're free tier eligible. Just look for that free tier eligible wording when you go to spin up a resource. And again, consult this page for what you can do. Compute databases. Like if you go to databases, you can create an RDS database, DynamoDB database. You got storage, the Amazon S3, 5 gigs, 12 months free. Containers, 750 hours. Web apps, serverless. So Lambda is like the cheapest thing in the world. 1 million free requests per month. SNS, SQS, all of that. It's like 1 million for free per month. So have at it. Again, I'm going to be doing some videos here in the next couple of days with Python and AWS just for fun. Some challenges for you, some ways to get your feet wet. So if you like this video, give it a good thumbs up, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.